Right now, a group of local activists marching from the UW campus to the Capitol, speaking about abortion rights in Wisconsin and nationwide. Plus, how a benefit bike ride is helping bring fresh fruits and veggies to low-income families. And we're just several hours away from the start of the Queen's funeral. President Biden and the First Lady paid their respects today ahead of tomorrow's service. That's all coming up at 10. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Arman Rahman. A young group of activists marched from the UW campus today to the state capitol calling for reproductive rights. Our Andrew Bansta was there and is in the studio tonight with more. Andrew?
The Madison Abortion and Reproductive Rights Coalition for Health, or MARCH, took the streets on Sunday, marching from UW's Library Hall to the Capitol, seeking bodily autonomy in Wisconsin and beyond.
March strongly believes that legislative change comes from people speaking out. They say that Roe v. Wade was enacted in the 1970s because of activism, because of people making their voices heard.
We know that we cannot make real legislative changes without speaking up and showing other people that we have to join together. We know in the 1970s how we got Roe v. Wade in the first place was by taking to the streets, marching endlessly. And so we're trying to start that movement here in Madison.
March told me that 1 in 4 UW females are sexually assaulted as an undergrad and that rape goes hand in hand with unplanned pregnancies. They're standing up to give women a voice and a choice and advice for women trying to figure out this new post-Roe world.
They do not know what's going to happen to them if they were to get pregnant, if one of their friends were to get pregnant. What do they do? What is step 2? What is step 3?
Activists of all ages attended the event, including, you guessed it, the Raging Grannies.
Well, the Raging Grannies have always been a group that has spoken out, sang, marched, acted, been arrested for peace and social justice movements.
Deborah knows a world without Roe v. Wade all too well. This issue is personal to her.
In 1971, I had an illegal abortion in the basement of the Bronx.
That moment changed her life forever. Since then, Roe v. Wade swept in and swept out, and she won't stand for that.
Reproductive rights were so very important, and I went on to have 3 amazing daughters, and they always had some protection. And I now have an incredible granddaughter who has none.
Change often starts with small groups making a stand. March recognizes that if they don't stand up for themselves, who will?
It's the most important thing to be visible, to get your voice out there, get your body out there so that they can see us. Because if you don't show up, they can pretend you're not there.
March will continue hosting events, and you can see the Raging Grannies every other week at the Dane County Farmers Market. Both groups encourage that whatever your passion may be, make your voice heard.
Thanks, Andrew. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with meteorologist Julian Seawright. Julian, looking like some thunderstorms to come tonight.
Well, we just had a couple of showers that rolled their way through, but they have pretty much fallen apart as we continue throughout the rest of the night. This is what we're watching as of right now. At least for Dane County, we have seen those showers really just fall apart for us. But outside of Greene and Rock County, that's where we're starting to see just in Janesville, a bit more of that rainfall starting to consistently move forward throughout the later part of tonight. But we are expecting for, as we get closer to the midnight hour, those to start far apart for us as well. But as we take a look at how we stacked it for today, outside of the cloud cover and the spray little showers we had, temperatures were summer-like, lower 80 degrees for us here in Madison. Another warm day for us. And as we go in throughout what we're going to be seeing heading into the overnight and tomorrow hours, well, tomorrow we're actually going to be a bit cooler. A cold front's going to roll in late tonight, which is where we're going to start to see a bit of those showers coming in from that shortwave trough. But the cold front will roll in, bringing temperatures down, but we are looking for some fog to start to develop because of that, which will lead us to having temperatures not be as warm tomorrow, but still onto the very mild side as we're into the upper 70s. We're going to talk more about what else to expect with the work week in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Armand.
Thanks, Julian. Well, 2 people were killed and 2 others were wounded when someone opened fire past midnight today at a Kenosha bar and grill. Kenosha police were called to Las Margaritas around 2 in the morning. Officers in the area heard gunshots and multiple 911 calls were received. It's not the first shooting near the restaurant. Just last month, 3 people were shot outside during a fight. One resident who lives nearby says he's happy he stayed in last night.
And I heard police sirens and what I believe was gunshots. I thought I might have been tripping, but I kept hearing more sirens.
Police say the 2 surviving victims remain hospitalized. Officers say the investigation is very active and ongoing, and at this time, no suspects are in custody. Well, you ever wondered how they cooked, built, and crafted in the olden days? Well, families got to experience today at Waukenee's Heritage Fest. There we go. Over at the Schumacher Farm, visitors churned some butter, learned about some old machines, and even cast designs out of aluminum for garden markers, decorations, and more. For many families, it was a blast from the past that brought back memories.
A lot of kids just really excited to try new things that they've never tried before. A lot of families reminiscing about things that their parents did when they were growing up or their grandparents did. We have our woodworking stove going right now, baking bread, and I've had multiple people tell me that their grandmas actually made bread on a woodworking stove too.
And guests were also invited to cook in the farm's kitchen using herbs and food from the Heritage Garden. Well, President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are in London paying their respects to late Queen Elizabeth II. The Bidens are among hundreds of world leaders and dignitaries who will attend the monarch's grand state funeral tomorrow morning. Terry Okita has the latest from London.
President Joe Biden placed his hand on his heart as he and the First Lady paid their respects to Queen Elizabeth II at Westminster Hall. Later, the first couple signed a condolence book.
To all the people of England, all the people of the United Kingdom, our hearts go out to you, and you were fortunate to have had her for 70 years. We all were. The world's better for her.
Mr. Biden is just one of 13 U.S. presidents the Queen met during her 70-year reign.
She was the same in person as her image. Decent, honorable, and all about service.
The Bidens then joined King Charles III and dozens of other kings, queens, and heads of state at a reception at Buckingham Palace.
President Biden is among 500 world leaders and dignitaries attending the Queen's funeral. Now, the largest, most complex security operation in London's history is underway to keep everyone safe.
More than 10,000 police and security personnel have been patrolling the city. Members of the armed forces and volunteer marshals will join them on duty for Monday's funeral.
We've got help from every force across the country and indeed from some forces further afield.
At least 1 million people are expected to take to the streets to watch the funeral procession. And many thousands are waiting in line overnight for the final chance to file past the Queen's coffin before the doors close early tomorrow morning. Others placed flowers outside the Queen's residences, including Windsor Castle.
We felt it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and also the last time we can pay our respects to the Queen.
It's a chance to participate in history while honoring the only monarch many have ever known. Terry Okita, CBS News, London.
And the Queen's state funeral takes place tomorrow morning at Westminster Abbey. It begins at 4:30 a.m. right here on Channel 3. News 3 this morning will air at 7 a.m., but on television Wisconsin, that's Channel 3.2 through an antenna and Channel 14 on Spectrum. You can also stream us online at channel3000.com and through the Channel 3000 app. Well, former President Bill Clinton is reacting to the death of Kenneth Starr, the lawyer who investigated him in the late 1990s. The former federal judge died last week of complications from surgery at a Houston hospital. Today, Clinton was asked about Starr's death. Here's what he had to say.
I read the obituary, and I realized that his family loved him, and I think that's something to be grateful for. And when your life is over, that's all there is to say. But I was taught not to talk about people that I have nothing to say, except I'm glad he died with the love of his families.
That investigation was launched as a probe into the Whitewater scandal, but it also uncovered the former president's sexual affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. A 21-year-old woman was found shot to death in her car in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Police there say she was a student at Louisiana State University. The school confirmed Allison Rice was a senior student studying marketing. Her car was found near train tracks. Police say it's possible she could have been waiting for a train to pass when the shooting occurred, but no trains were present by the time police arrived. T. Rice worked at a barbecue restaurant, and the owner there, her boss, says the loss is unimaginable.
To lose somebody like Allie, not that any life is worth losing, but to lose somebody like Allie really, really hurt.
Police have not yet identified a suspect, and the motive is unknown at this time. Flash flood warnings have just been issued for most of Puerto Rico as Hurricane Fiona makes its way across the island. Take a look at this video. A bridge being swept by floodwaters. According to the Weather Service, between 5 to 10 inches of rain have fallen since midnight. The National Hurricane Center says more is on the way. Currently, the entire island, that's 1.5 million people, are without water. And a 6.9 magnitude earthquake has struck Taiwan's southeastern coast. Images from the area show some of the devastation it's caused. You see here several buildings have collapsed and a train has been derailed. At least one person has died. About 20 passengers were evacuated after a train derailed in the area, but there were no casualties reported from that incident. Well, still ahead tonight at 10, how man and man's best friend are helping raise money for Dane County's dog parks.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Now's the perfect time to get your roofing project off the ground with Feldco. As the seasons change, you want to be sure your house is ready for the harsh Midwestern weather ahead. For just $279 a month, you can protect your home and your family with a new Feldco roof. So get your fall started off on the right foot today with Feldco.
Roofing for $279 a month and soon. Hurry, call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
The 2023 Ford F-150 trucks are coming, meaning more ways to haul, tow, go, and do, and with more ways than ever to make it your own. Plus, if you order now, you'll lock in your price and lock in your rate. Do more in a 2023 Ford F-150. Custom order yours today. Lock in 2.9 for $60 and get $500 retail order bonus cash when you order a Ford F-150. Only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
By some measures, our economy is doing great. We've reached the lowest unemployment in state history. We have a record budget surplus. But there's another side, too. Rising prices for groceries, gas, and medications. Folks, that's a problem. That's why I have a plan to cap prescription drug prices, aggressively prosecute price gouging, and cut taxes by another 10% for working families. It's the right thing to do for Wisconsin and our economy.
Should your high schooler consider a career in high-demand skilled trades? Monday, Josh Sprider previews an event right here in the 608 that might spark their interest.
And will the start of the work week be warm and humid? Tune in Monday from 4:30 to 7.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
If you suffer from anxiety, depression, or loneliness, you may be at a higher risk of developing long COVID-19. A new study published in JAMA Psychiatry said people with common psychiatric issues could have up to a 50% higher risk of long-term COVID-related symptoms. That includes breathing problems, brain fog, chronic coughing, and overwhelming fatigue. Researchers looked at medical data from nearly 55,000 people. Scientists say they adjusted for demographics, body weight, smoking status, and medical history. Researchers say participants with 2 or more types of psychological distress at the higher risk. Well, a bunch of good boys and their owners gathered in Verona this afternoon to help raise money for the Dane County Parks Department. Barks for Parks bought out both canines and humans to Prairie Moraine County Park this afternoon. Vendors were out selling dog food and even clothes for your furry friends. And for the adults, alcohol and food were available for purchase from Carbon 4 Brewing, with 10% of sales going back to the dog park program.
And it'll be used for park improvements, helping support the restoration work here that the Friends are doing. And it's also just for fun, hanging out with dogs and enjoying the beautiful weather before fall hits. And we have Porter and Pilsner here.
Always a good time for dogs. Dane County is home to 8 different dog parks. A bike event in Madison has made its return for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. Its riders are pedaling with a purpose. Our Catherine Merck has more on the big impact the event has on making sure everyone has access to healthy food.
So we biked 50 some miles through
beautiful fields and forests.
For Leslie Taylor, there's nothing like the feeling of riding her bike.
I love riding. I've been a cyclist for many, many years.
It makes it feel even better when her tires turn for something even bigger than a Sunday morning ride. Bike the Barns is Fair Share Community-supported Agriculture Coalition's largest fundraiser. The organization helps people buy local food directly from a farmer.
It's a concept that I think makes a lot of sense, where you can help the farmers in the beginning of the season, and then they have kind of your money, and they can grow what they grow.
Proceeds from the ride benefit CSA and the Partner Shares program, which helps low-income families afford farm-fresh veggies.
You just feel the community vibe here. Like, you take a walk around, and you can just see people really digging into the food and appreciating where it's coming from.
The organizers agree with riders like Leslie. It's a great way to get outside and see some of the best things the state has to offer.
Beautiful roads, beautiful scenery, totally beautiful people to ride with.
It's not a race. It's the opposite of a race. The whole goal is to get out and enjoy yourself.
Reporting in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
Well, this year marked the 14th annual ride. The organizers said they usually raise over $100,000. Now let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with someone else who got on a bike this morning. Meteorologist Julian Seawright.
Oh, man. Well, outside of me going in for my triathlon, let's talk about what we're going to be seeing for us throughout the next few days. Right now, this is what we're seeing for our surface map. As of right now, we're looking at that cold front, which is sweeping through southern Wisconsin, which has brought in a couple of showers for central areas of Wisconsin. But overall, much of the storm activity is just south of us. And that's really what we're going to be looking at. The bulk of any kind of storm activity going to be into northern Illinois in parts of Iowa. However, we do have plenty of juice here in southern Wisconsin, as dew points are still within the mid-60s for many of us, especially for Madison. Really high over towards Janesville. It's 70 degrees as of right now, and 68 degrees into Platteville. So we have plenty of moisture in our atmosphere, which is why we started to see a couple of showers starting to fire off for us over the last hour or two. But now it's starting to phase out just a bit. We're still going to see a bit of that drier air starting to roll its way in, coming in from the north, where that high pressure system is set up just outside of Minnesota. But there is plenty of activity going on into parts of Iowa and even for northern Illinois, where we have a tornado watch in just parts of Iowa, just outside of Des Moines. And for central and close to northern Illinois, we're looking at a severe thunderstorm watch. So overnight, we're going to be looking at activity for our neighbors to the south. But for us, that's not really what we're going to be seeing. It's going to be rather quiet as we're heading into the overnight hours. Temperatures will fall into the lower 60s. The cold front that sweeps through will keep things not nearly as humid, but we're going to see the upper 50s by the time we get into our morning hours. Best part about it too, drier air is going to start to roll in, so we are going to start to see our cloud cover start to dissipate as well. Leading the way for tomorrow is going to be a mostly sunny day for us. Temperatures into the upper 70s, but we will start to see some morning fog for many areas. But outside of that, folks, you can plan out the rest of tomorrow. Really going to be a good day for us, as we're going to be seeing those temperatures really start to rise by the time we get into the lunchtime hour. But it's still not going to be overly hot, rather mild around noon. And then as we get into the later parts of our afternoon, temperatures into the middle to upper 70s, especially for us here in Madison and areas just to the west. Going into Monday nights, we're not looking at too much activity once again until we get into the overnight hours, where we are going to be tracking just a bit of a cluster of some storms that could start to move their way into southern Wisconsin and even bring in some rain for us by the time we're getting ready to head out the door heading into our Tuesday, which could be bringing in some significant rainfall for areas mainly north of Dane County. But even for us, we could see about 1/10 of an inch, and for areas that see potentially some storms that could linger for a little longer, could see a bit more rainfall as well. But let's cap things off for us. 3 things we'll need to know heading into the new work week. We are entering a very unsettled pattern, so we could see many nights bringing in some unsettled weather for us, so we could see showers and thunderstorms overnight. It's beginning for our Monday nights and for our Tuesday, and outside of that, Wednesday and Thursday as well. Good news is, though, we are looking for a cold front to come in mid part of the week, which will drop temperatures by the time we get into Wednesday into around the 70s, and then we'll start to see 60s back in our forecast. But heading towards the weekend, we still have more potential storm activity heading into our Friday night, Armand.
All right, Julian, thank you so much. Yeah. And coming up next in sports, Jordan has a recap of the Packers-Bears game when we come back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, that's Smart Bananas, only 19 cents a pound. And family-sized Cheerios, only 99 cents. While supplies last, Monday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
Well, what about the windows?
Cross something important off your list. With energy-efficient windows for just $129 a month, now is the perfect time to get your home ready for fall. And keep some cash in your pocket.
Windows for $129 a month and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Exciting things call for a drum roll, like this new offer on one of Wisconsin's favorite lotto games. It's Badger 5 Double Jackpot Days. If a jackpot is won, there's a 1 in 2 chance that it doubles. This offer is included with every Badger 5 purchase. Only in September. This exciting offer from the Wisconsin Lottery is going fast.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get a $500 cash allowance on all 2022 Silverado pickups with a 2.7-liter turbo engine. Plus, now during truck season, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Look, we knew the other side would make up lies about me to scare you. Now they're claiming I want to defund the police and abolish ICE. That's a lie. I'll make sure our police have the resources and training they need to keep our community safe. And that our communities have the resources to stop crime before it happens. I'll bring back manufacturing. And I'll pass a middle-class tax cut. And if that's too scary for Washington, then so be it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
It's Make My Mondays at Hy-Vee. This Monday, Mrs. Grimes chili beans, only 19 cents. And Lean Cuisine or Stouffer's Classics, only $1.99. Monday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
I think it favors whoever handles the circumstances the best, whoever prepares the best, whoever shows up ready to play, who gives the most effort, who's the most resilient, who goes out there and, quite frankly, executes better than the other team.
After all the hype and all the waiting, the Packers and Bears primetime matchup finally arrives. The teams renew the league's oldest rivalry under the lights at Lambeau. And right before kickoff, the Packers activate some essential players on offense. Allen Lazard, Elton Jenkins, and John Runyon are all a go for tonight's game. The first quarter, it looks a little rough for the Packers. They're trailing 7-3, then they go beast mode. Aaron Jones finds the end zone not once, but twice, and each in a different way. He's got a receiving and rushing score in the second quarter. Then, just before halftime, Aaron Rodgers connects with Allen Lazard, and it makes it a 17-point game. They hold the lead, get their first win of the season. It's 27-10 over the Bears. They make it 7 straight wins against their division rival. Let's check in with some former Badgers on the pro stage. J.J. Watt collects his first sack of the season early in the Cardinals-Raiders game. Arizona ends up winning this one in crazy fashion. A Raiders fumble that turned into a 59-yard scoop and score in overtime. Then out in Denver, Russell Wilson helps the Broncos get their first win of the season. He ends the day with 219 yards, 1 score, and an interception. Brewers, they already locked up the series with the Yankees, trying for the sweep this afternoon. Colton Wong, he opens the game with a 3-run tank to the upper deck. It's his 12th homer of the season. Well, the Yankees rally, while one in particular is also chasing history. Aaron Judge crushes 2 home runs today. He only needs 2 more to tie the American League record. Brewers try to come up with a late-game rally. They come up short. Now they sit 2 games back from the 3rd wild card spot and 8 games out of 1st in the NL Central. While Friday didn't result in a win for Wisconsin volleyball, it ended up being a record night. The Badgers helped set the NCAA regular season attendance record with almost 17,000 fans at the Kohl Center. The 4th-ranked Badgers returned to the Fieldhouse this afternoon to face Rhode Island in their final non-conference match. At the service line, Gulje Gushtikin was unstoppable. 3 aces in a row in the first set. She ends up tying the school record of 6 aces in a 3-set match. Sarah Franklin, Ulia Orgel, they lead in kills with 9 each. The Badgers sweep the Rams and get ready to host Northwestern on Friday. Final round of the Sanford International. Steve Stricker works his way up the leaderboard. This one ends up going to a playoff. While on the playoff hole between Stricker and Robert Carlson, he ends up sinking the birdie putt on the first playoff hole, and Stricker wins at 14 under overall. He's the first 2-time champion at this tournament. Jerry Kelly also participated. He finished tied for 16th.
There you go.
Hi, hanging in there.
Yeah, you know, it's okay. It's a pain you get used to after a while.
So well, you already said you have the lucky tie for the next matchup of the season, so you can hold on to that for a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I've been holding on to it for quite a few years.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. All right, thanks, Jordan. The final check of your first Swirl forecast is coming up when we come back.
Do you feel safe? Mandela Barnes would eliminate cash bail, setting accused criminals free into the community before trial. Even with shootings, robberies, carjackings, violent attacks on our police. More than 300 murders last year alone. Yet Barnes has even supported defunding the police. Mandela Barnes, he stands with them, not us. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The 2023 Ford F-150 trucks are coming, meaning more ways to haul, tow, go, and do, and with more ways than ever to make it your own. Plus, if you order now, you'll lock in your price and lock in your rate. Do more in a 2023 Ford F-150. Custom order yours today. Lock in 2.9 for $60 and get $500 retail order bonus cash when you order a Ford F-150. Only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
My skin, but better. Everyone wants it. This does it.
True Match Nude Tinted Serum. 1% hyaluronic acid in a foundation.
Feels like second skin. Naturally radiant.
True Match Tinted Serum from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
At Machinery Road Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of cycling apparel, shoes, and helmets from Perla Zumi, Castelli, Trek, Gore, Showers Pass, Terry, Bell, and Giro. There's no such thing as bad weather, just unsuitable clothing. At Machinery Road Bicycles, you'll find cycling apparel for all seasons, whether you're trying to beat the heat or stay warm and dry. Lots of great bargains. From commuting to triathlon, from quality basics to the gear the pros wear and everything in between. The most beautiful bicycle store in the world, Machinery Road Bicycles, has you covered.
It's time for new energy-efficient replacement windows from Champion.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Don't sweat over high energy bills. Stay comfortable in your home all year long. Call or go online to book your free estimate at getchampionwindows.com.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Dear road rivals, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan that covers tire rotations, engine oil changes, fluid adjustments, and more for 2 years or 25,000 miles. Nissan charges extra for maintenance. And you guessed it, Ford charges extra for maintenance. At Toyota, we take care of our drivers. Too bad none of our rivals do the same. Join us, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning.
Y'all know it's National Cheeseburger Day.
Yes.
Did you get your cheeseburger?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Well, okay, so I was in this great debate of like, should I get a cheeseburger? Should I get
the juicy kind
dumplings? I ended up getting dumplings instead.
Ooh, dumplings ain't bad.
That seems just like foul. if people you didn't know it, today's National Cheeseburger Day.
Well, I didn't know at the time,
And
though.
she chose dumplings. You're not a true American.
I didn't know it was National
It's true Wisconsinite. You got Culver's right there.
Man, you know, I didn't know it was National Cheeseburger Day.
Oh.
We're calling you the Wicked Witch of the South now, Jordan.
Wait, but you should, maybe it would help if you included it on the forecast, Julian.
But how
boom.
Oh, it's raining cheeseburgers? Is that what we're supposed to say?
There we go, exactly.
Oh my gosh, I think
It was Clyde with a chance of meatballs at one point.
Oh my gosh, the people would get sick of me at that point. But here's 3 things we'll need to know to wrap things up for us, folks. We're entering an unsettled pattern heading into next week. What that means is that our nights are going to be bringing in chances of storms or even some showers for many of us throughout the next few days. But the fall weather is on the horizon. We're looking for 60s heading into the weekend, but Friday could bring in some storm-like potential.
There we go. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow morning on Television Wisconsin.